In the ever-evolving world of Hollywood, where actors age, retire, reinvent themselves, or quietly accept that gravity exists, one man has refused to participate: Tom Cruise. A man who has spent the last 4 decades performing increasingly elaborate stunts in an apparent attempt to prove that mortality is just a suggestion. Tom Cruise isn't just an actor. He's a cinematic insurance nightmare. Over 4 decades, he has carved out a niche that can best be described as, what if the lead actor insisted on doing the stunt even after the stunt team begged him not to? But Cruise doesn't listen. Cruise commits. Cruise looks at a 10,000-foot drop and says, "Yeah, roll camera." And Hollywood lets him, because at this point, Tom Cruise has become too valuable to let little things like safety guidelines get in his way. Let's address the core pillar of the Tom Cruise acting method: the run. Tom Cruise doesn't walk. He doesn't jog. He sprints like he's evolving into a more advanced species. It's the same perfect form every time. The hands slicing the air, the forward-leaning torso fighting against gravity, the expression of a man who has personally offended time itself. Cruise has elevated running to an art form. There are actors with Oscars who can't run this convincingly. And what's truly impressive is the emotional range within the run. Running while determined, running while terrified, running while heartbroken, running even though absolutely nothing in the plot requires running. You could replace every dramatic monologue in his filmography with a running scene, and the emotional weight would remain identical. Tom Cruise's smile has the same energy as a motivational speaker who's had 19 espressos. It is powerful. It is intense, and it often arrives in moments when any normal person would not be smiling. Someone reveals a global conspiracy? Smile. World ending? Smile. Jumping out of a plane without a parachute? Bigger smile. This isn't acting. This is a man whose baseline emotional setting is relentlessly positive man who's about to outrun an asteroid. Tom Cruise has two speeds when talking: soft whisper full of sincerity, shouting like he's trying to communicate with astronauts on the ISS. There is no in between. Whether he's flying a fighter jet or arguing with a barista about soy milk, he delivers lines with the same breathless intensity as though every sentence must be spoken before the world explodes. This is why Tom Cruise is impossible to imitate without spraining your larynx.
The stunt philosophy. If I don't almost die, we're doing another take. This is where Cruise becomes Cruise. While other actors use CGI, green screens, and professional stunt double humans with fully insured skeletons, Tom Cruise says, "No thanks. I want to do the thing that could put me in the ICU." He climbs buildings. He hangs off planes. He drives motorcycles off cliffs. He flies helicopters in ways helicopter manufacturers insist you should not fly helicopters. In Mission Impossible Fallout, he literally broke his ankle mid-jump. Most actors would take weeks off. Tom Cruise said, "Keep the cameras rolling. This is cinema." There is more footage of Tom Cruise nearly dying on purpose than some actors have total screen time. Let's talk roles. Tom Cruise has played a spy, a pilot, a soldier, a futuristic cop, a race car driver, an assassin, a man who yelled, "Show me the money," and a man who is clearly just Tom Cruise wearing a different uniform. But despite the variety, all these characters share one unifying trait. They are all one extremely intense guy who gets way too invested in the mission. Cruise isn't known for disappearing into roles. He's known for making every role disappear into him. He has mastered the art of playing a hyper-competent man who solves impossible situations by believing in himself hard enough. Tom Cruise is 63 years old. Let's pause there. 63. Yet somehow he looks like he's just entering his late 30s, emotionally operating in his early 20s, and physically performing stunts meant for ages 18 to 25 with excellent health insurance. While other actors age gracefully, Tom Cruise has chosen to age aggressively in reverse. His skincare routine is probably just sprinting at high altitudes. Scientists have theories. Doctors have questions. Tom Cruise has another Mission Impossible shoot scheduled. Every time a new Mission Impossible film is announced, the insurance company starts sweating. Because these movies aren't just action films. They're documentaries about Tom Cruise's ongoing feud with mortality. Each installment has followed the same pattern. Tom Cruise wants to do something dangerous. The studio says no. Tom Cruise does the thing anyway. The studio releases the footage because it's too good not to use. Audiences praise him. Tom Cruise immediately looks for something even dumber to do next time. It's not a franchise anymore. It's a man testing how far he can push physics before physics files a restraining order.
Tom Cruise has invented a new kind of Hollywood business model. Make the most insane stunt imaginable, film it, then sell the movie around that stunt. Studios no longer ask, "What's the plot?" They ask, "What is Tom Cruise planning to jump off of this time?" If the answer is something tall, the green light is immediate. And audiences love it, not because of the story, not because of the themes, but because they know someone actually risked their spinal cord for this entertainment. Tom Cruise isn't just a celebrity, he's an institution. His movies follow a universal formula. Take a normal film, remove 70% of the dialogue, add an equal amount of running and explosions. He has become a cinematic comfort food, predictable, exciting, and always served fresh with a side of near-death experience. When you go to a Tom Cruise movie, you know exactly what you're getting. No lectures, no deep character arcs, just pure, unfiltered blockbuster energy. Here's the thing. Behind all the jokes, Tom Cruise has something most actors don't have: unrelenting obsession. He trains harder in his 60s than most people in their 20s. He spends months mastering skills just for seconds of screen time. He treats every movie like it's a historical event. Whether you love him or not, you cannot deny this man works. There is no autopilot Tom Cruise. There is no lazy Tom Cruise performance. Every frame is a man giving 120%, even if 60% would have been completely fine.
In a world full of influencers, reboots, cinematic universes, and TikTok stars aged 14 with Lamborghinis, Tom Cruise stands out as one of the last traditional movie stars. A man who can carry a film by sheer icon power. A man who doesn't need a franchise. He is the franchise. Back in the 90s, every studio had a Tom Cruise type. Today, the studio just waits for Tom Cruise himself. Humanity may eventually colonize Mars, but we will still have Tom Cruise doing stunts in low gravity. Fans constantly ask the same thing. Will Tom Cruise ever stop doing his own stunts? The answer is obviously no. Tom Cruise will be doing stunts at 90. He'll be jumping between retirement home chairs. He'll be outrunning hospice nurses. He'll do his own hip replacement. At some point, he will attempt a stunt so impossible that NASA will have to get involved again. And he will complete it. Because he is Tom Cruise, and gravity, at this point, is scared of him. So what is Tom Cruise's ultimate acting range? Is he nuanced? Sometimes. Is he versatile? Occasionally. Is he intense enough to power a small country? Absolutely. Tom Cruise has transcended acting. He has transcended Hollywood. He has transcended basic self-preservation. He is a cinematic constant, a man who runs, jumps, flies, smolders, and sprints his way into our collective memory. And whether you laugh, cheer, or scream at the insanity of his stunts, you cannot deny one thing. Tom Cruise makes movies feel like movies. So the next time you watch him sprint across a rooftop, jump out of a plane, or hang from an aircraft mid-takeoff, take a moment to appreciate what you're witnessing. A man who looked at the impossible and thought, let's do another take.